Anthony is an American writer and illustrator. He has written more than 200 children's books and is best known for books such as Strigan Noah and 26 Fairmount Avenue. He received the Children's Literature Legacy Award for his lifetime contribution to American children's literature in 2011. This story, Maui's Kite. This story is a fable that teaches long-lasting social and ethical values. In this story, there are three main characters: Maui, Keeper of the Winds, and the Four Great Winds. Before starting the paragraph, first we will know some word meanings. Tame means make something easy to control. Cross pieces means sticks crossed together to form the frame of the kite. Olona shrub means a Hawaii plant known for its strong bark. Paraded means walked in a large group in an orderly fashion to celebrate. Approached, came near. God means a fleshy vegetable with a thick skin. So first I will read the paragraph. Long ago in Hawaii, people told stories to explain the wonders of nature. This story is about Maui who wanted to tame the winds. One morning, Maui decided that he had to build a kite. And what a kite he built! His mother gave him her largest, strongest piece of cloth. For the cross pieces, he used sticks of bamboo, and he cut branches from the Olona shrub to make a strong rope. Maui's kite was a work of art. He told himself, I must get a special wind to fly my kite. I will go to the Keeper of the Winds. She will let me have the perfect wind to make my kite fly really high. His friends happily gathered around to help him carry his kite to the Keeper of the Winds. As the group paraded through the village, everyone left their work and came to watch. Now the explanation of this paragraph. One morning, Maui decided that morning to build a kite. Maui built a huge kite with a large piece of strong cloth, bamboos for cross pieces, and the branches of a Olona shrub to make a strong rope. Maui's kite was huge and beautiful. It was a work of art. Here, work of art means a painting or other creative arts, especially one with strong imaginative appeal. He felt that he needed a special wind to fly his kite. So he decided to go to the Keeper of the Winds to give him a special wind to fly his kite high. All his friends gathered around him to help him to carry his kite to the keeper of the winds. They walked in a large group through the village, so everyone got excited and curious. So they left their work and came to watch. Now, children, I will ask you some questions. You have to answer. What did Maui use to build his kite? Maui used strong cloth which his mother has given him. Why did he go to the keeper of the winds? Because Maui wanted the perfect wind to make his kite fly really high. Now we move to next paragraph. First we will read it. When the group finally approached the cave, one of the winds, they could see the keeper of the winds sitting by the entrance. O keeper of the winds, cried Maui, please bring Ipulki, the small god that holds the gentle breezes, and let us fly our kite. The keeper was a wise old woman. She knew that the gentle winds of Ipulki would play kindly with the boy. So she went into her cave and returned, carrying a small god and singing her song. Now, the explanation of this paragraph. When they reached the cave, Maui and his friends found the keeper of the winds at the entrance. He asked the keeper to bring him the small god, Ipulki, that held the soft winds of Hilo. The keeper was a wise woman. She knew the gentle wind of Ipulki would be just right to fly Maui's kite. So she went into her cave and returned, carrying a small god, and started singing her song. So, children, I will ask you question. What did he ask her for? Answer. Maui asked for Ipulki, a gentle breezes, to fly his kite. Before starting the paragraph, we will see some word meaning. Everlasting means continuing forever. Drifted means slowly and steadily moved from one place to another. Soared means rose high into the air. Taken for granted means accepted and treated in a careless manner. Churning means moving round and round rather violently. Hasten means hurry. Now we will read the next paragraph. O wind, soft wind of Hilo, wind from the god of everlasting winds, come from Ipulki. O wind, soft wind of Hilo, come gently, come mildly. The lead of the god began to stir, and the keeper carefully opened it. Slowly, the soft wind of Hilo drifted out and tugged at the kite. Maui let out some cord, and he and his friends cheered as the kite soared like a great bird over the sea. The keeper stood silently and looked on with a smile. After a while, she said, "That's enough for today. The winds should not be taken for granted. They will respect you if you respect them. After a few minutes of silence, Maui nodded and said, "Yes, O keeper of the winds, call your winds back to you." The woman now removed the lid from Ipulki. As the winds returned, the kite slowly dropped. Maui reeled in the line, caught the kite, and went back home with his friends while the keeper closed the lid. Now, explanation of this paragraph. She opened, the keeper of the wind opened the lid of the god, and the soft wind of Hilo lifted the kite high in the sky. Maui and his friends were happy. They were enjoying the kite, and the kite was flying like a great bird over the sea. After a while, the keeper wanted to call the winds back. She said, "The winds should not be taken for granted. They should be respected, then they will give you respect." Maui thought for a while and let her call back the winds. The keeper called back the soft winds of Ipulki, and the kite went limp. Maui returned home with his friends and his kite. Now, children, it's time to ask some questions. What happened when the women sang to the soft wind of Hilo? Answer: slowly, the gentle breeze, Ipulki, taking the kite high in the sky. Now tell me, what lesson did the keeper of the winds teach Maui as he flew his kite? Answer: that the winds will respect you if you respect them. Now, children, you know that if we respect someone, they definitely respect us back. So, in this story, the keeper wanted to teach Maui that if he respects the winds will respect him back. Now we will read the next paragraph. But Maui was not content. He had seen how high his kite had gone, and he now wondered just how much higher it could fly. The next day, Maui and his friends took the great kite and went back to the cave of the winds. "O keeper of the winds, bring out Ipunui, god of the four great winds," cried out Maui. "The winds of Ipulki were enough, Maui," she replied. "Don't you remember what I said to you? You must respect the winds, especially the four great winds. But I am strong as the four great winds," said Maui. And he began to chant, "O four great winds, mighty as the gods, wind from the God of everlasting winds, come from Ipunui, strong winds, churning winds, hasten and come to me." Explanation of this paragraph. Maui was not satisfied. He wanted to fly his kite as high as possible. The next day, he went back with his friends and the kite to the cave and asked the keeper for the four great winds in the bigger ground, Ipunui. The keeper advised Maui to not to try and play with the four great winds. But Maui would not heed her advice. He thought he was as strong as the great winds. So he invited them to come and fly his kite. Now, children, tell me, why did Maui go back to the woman the next day? Why he go back to the keeper of the winds the next day? Because he was not content. He was not satisfied and he wanted to fly his kite as high as possible. Did the keeper of the winds bring out the Ipunui? No, she did not. Maui did it. Now first we will know about the word meaning. Struggling vainly means trying without success. Ragged means blew forcefully. Now we will read the paragraph. From inside the cave came a mighty roar. The keeper ran towards the entrance, but she was too late. The north wind and the east wind pushed her over and snatched the kite from the hands of Maui's friends. Maui's kite was swept far away out over the sea. He laughed with delight when he saw how far his kite had gone, and at the keeper, who was struggling vainly to put the lid back on Ipunui. Then the west wind and the south wind howled out of the god and knocked it from the woman's hands. The kite went as high as the cord was long, and then it tugged fiercely at the cord. The cord began to hum in the wind, and the kite disappeared in the darkening clouds. Now, the explanation of this paragraph. The winds came with a loud roar and lifted Maui's kite far out into the sea. The keeper ran towards the entrance, but it was too late. The north and the west wind pushed her over, but Maurice laughed aloud with joy to see his kite flying high in the sky. And the keeper tried in vain to close the lid of the god Ipunui. As the wind blew, the kite flew into the clouds. The cord began to hum in the wind, and the kite disappeared into the darkening clouds. Now, children, tell me what happened as soon as Maui invited the four great winds. Obviously, winds destroyed everything in the village. Now we will read the next paragraph. Thinking that he was in control, Maui called out, "O winds, mighty as the gods, return to Ipunui." But of course, the winds were beyond his control. They ragged stronger and stronger until the cord attached to the kite snapped with a mighty crack. Maui almost fell backwards. The kite sailed away over the mountain, never to be seen again. Explanation of this paragraph is that Maui's still thinking that the wind was in control, but wind was not in his control. So Maui asks his wind to return to their god, but the winds grew stronger and stronger, and the rope snapped, and the kite disappeared beyond the mountains. Before starting the paragraph, we will see some word meaning. Scurrying means running in quick, short steps. Coaxing means persuading somebody to do something by talking in a kind and gentle way. Scowled means frowned. Now we will read the next paragraph. The winds continued to range over the entire Iceland. A heavy rain sent people scurrying in all the directions. The winds had proved who was stronger. At last, the keeper of the winds pounced on Iponui and took it back to the cave. She worked all through the night, gently coaxing the winds back to the god. Finally, the storm ended. People started calling Maui he who brought the great storm. His friends looked the other way when Maui came to visit. Finding himself alone with nothing to do, Maui built another kite. It was smaller than the first. He flew it near his home when there were no one else about. He would tie the kite to a rock and study its movement in the sky. Explanation of this paragraph. But the winds continued to range over the entire Iceland. The winds ranged blowing away everything. The winds proved who was stronger. They also brought rain, making people run indoors. The keeper worked all night, gently convinced winds to come back. Finally, the keeper was able to control the four great winds and put them back into the god. When the storm ended, the people of the village did not want to have anything to do with Maui because he had created a huge disaster by releasing the great winds. They call him he who brought the great storm. Even his friends avoided him. Finding himself alone with nothing to do, Maui made yet another kite, but this one was smaller. He flew it near his home when there is no one else. He flew it to learn the movement of the winds. Now, children, tell me, who controlled the winds? The keeper of the winds tried all through the night, and finally she controlled the winds. Now next, what happened to Maui after the storm? Everybody started ignoring him, even his friends. They started calling him he who brought the great storm. We will read the next paragraph. Soon he could tell when the weather would be fine or stormy. One day he noticed some men going off to the fields. "It will rain today," called out Maui. "Tomorrow will be a better day to work in the fields." The men just scowled at him. But soon it did begin to rain, and the men came running back to the village, looking in amazement at Maui. Another day, Maui warned a group of women that their clothes would be blown away from the drying place because his kite told him that there would be a storm that day. Later, they were out in their yards chasing their clothes, which were blowing about in the storm. In time, the village people began to depend on Maui and his kite. He taught them how to tell from the dancing movements of the kite which day would be good for planting or fishing or drying clothes. People now started calling him teacher of the weather. Even the keeper of the winds no longer stunned him. And Maui had learnt his lesson. Never again did he called for the winds of Ipulki or Ipunui. Explanation of this paragraph. Soon he learned to predict the weather. In initial stage, no one believed him. One day he saw some men going off the fields. He warned them, "It will rain today. Tomorrow will be better day to work." But they ignored his words, but soon it began to rain. They were shocked. Another day, Maui warned a group of women that there would be a storm. "Don't dry your clothes." They ignored, and he was right. Storm came. When they realized he was right, they began to rely on his wisdom. They began to call him the teacher of the weather. Even the keeper of the winds became friendly with him once again. Maui never called either Ipulki or Ipunui for help. He had learned to respect the winds.